Yes,
reminding people to return their books.
yes, yes.
Yeah, remind them to return
And
the
then we
book.
have to
Return
break that.
these
Tell them
books.
that the break test will be at 5 o'clock.
Grab
Okay,
and
where?
go.
Right outside.
The lounge.
In the lounge. I'm sorry, in the
It's
lounge.
grab
In
and
the
go.
lounge.
Mhm.
Okay, sure.
Did I ever get put into
But,
the,
one of you could do that too if you'd
Oh,
rather.
but neither they're not going to be up there.
Okay.
I'm just looking for, we're just missing, let's see, Kornheiser. Kornheiser. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh, Henry. Missing Kornheiser and Henry.
Well, he still has 7 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no escape.
These pages are so hard to turn.
They are. I'm having trouble with them myself.
Great. Maybe a little closer if
You want a little
you
closer?
could, Roswell. Yeah, and then a little bit over this way.
Or do you want me to move it over?
Either way, that's fine. Yeah, probably in front of me is probably better.
You want it more in front of you?
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Ah, hooray. And closer. And a little up. And this even closer.
Yeah.
Let's see if that'll work.
If not, I can put something underneath it to raise it. You
Oh,
want me
I
to?
think this is good, and maybe just a little bit over so that they could see the arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Good go with that?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How did it come out all right today?
Yeah, it was all the way through clean.
Wonderful. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
It's got the salt and pepper. Yeah. It's a part on this side.
Yes, she can, you want to do one of those chairs as long as it's not finished.
I didn't like They just say what they want to say. I think I She was out there in her. She's coming in, you know. Yeah, but yeah, I love my dear. That's the worst thing. Well, this is.
Gotta be able to laugh sometimes.
You're not gonna get
I'll get it for somebody can have it. Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Pretty well.
Sandy is supposed to be sitting right here. I was gonna go tell us. No, yes, it did. Oh, maybe.
Charles, I'm gonna ask you also to, so you're gonna be the first of the, so I just wanna make sure you know, let's practice yours. Yeah. Then lay out and okay, tell me your name again. I'm sorry?
Henry's, I see it's coming up. He's gonna change.
Oh, Henry's. I'm sorry, Charles. I gave you a job, you
He's
didn't have.
open and happy.
But you're gonna do the first one. Well, yeah, I should.
Never,
I have been motion to
Oh, of course.
Gloria, I just want to confirm. Shmuel the
Well, mine is Molly. Molly, she would like to have it.
Very good. And then Henry's coming. Henry's here.
Oh, I guess so.
In June, you're gonna open.
I will open it when you tell me. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm sure my best.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
This is the first.
Hello, Dr. Henry. How are you? Good. I just want to know your name is Elijah. Oh, Eliezer, that's very good.
He's a box struggle. Not bad, box struggle.
Okay. Eliezer and
Struggle.
Shargo.
S-H-R-A-G-O. Struggle.
Eliezer Bar Shargo.
When you put your glasses on, it slows your.
Okay.
No,
And your mom, you want to mention your mom's name or not necessary?
Oh, it's under the correct.
Okay. What's her name?
How do you work?
What?
No person sitting in your wheels.
You want me to just say Hadridge?
Yeah, I need to do.
How do you spell it?
H-A-D-W-I-G.
Hadridge. Okay, very good. So Henry, would you please close the art? Okay, could I show you how to do it?
That's a good idea.
Should we be some?
So there's a rope here. So what you do is take this and bring the rope around and there's a little hook on this. All right, will you turn and take it off? Thank you, Henry. Oh, Mom.
These small stores. These small stores.
I know. Well, it's comfortable to hold, right?
I like it.
To turn it on, you there's a button here. Press this button, and then you turn it
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I always forget, yeah, I got you.
Is it okay if we begin the beginning? Yeah, 2 hours, yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Gamar Katima Tova. I say you are the Starkers for being here again this afternoon. We appreciate it. It's so nice to see you all, and I wish you a good and a healthy and a sweet new year. Why forgive? Forgiveness is a door to peace and happiness. It is a small, narrow door and cannot be entered without stooping. It is also hard to find, but no matter how long the search, it can be found. When we forgive someone for a mistake or a deliberate hurt, we still recognize it as such. But instead of lashing out or biting back, we attempt to see beyond it so as to restore our relationship with the person responsible for it. Our forgiveness may not take away our pain. It may not even acknowledge or accept it, but the act of offering it will keep us from being sucked into the downward spiral of resentment. It will also guard us against the temptation of taking out our anger or hurt on someone else. Forgiveness does not mean ignoring what has been done or putting a false label on an evil act. It means rather that the evil act no longer remains as a barrier to the relationship. Forgiveness is a catalyst creating the atmosphere necessary for a fresh start and a new beginning. Our service begins with the afternoon service found on page 394. Page 394, and we will read responsively. At this hour, Israel stands before its God. In our prayers, in our hope, we are one with all Jews on earth. The people you have formed still lives to tell the praise. Today we say to our children, see this sublime design which was revealed at the very beginning and which from age to age is realized. See this people, few in number to the world unknown, declaring at the beginning of its history What will be its history? See this people choose the mission which chooses in the way it has foretold. See this people. To our friends we say, see this people exiled twice and twice surviving, teaching in its first exile the unity of God, and in its second the oneness of humankind. Know this people. This people Israel lives to tell God's praise, men's hopes, women's dreams. Congregation Israel, can you not see an eternal presence abiding with your people? Can you not see in the past a story told for all peoples, whose shining conclusion has yet to unfold? This people lives when it lives God's praise. At this hour, Israel stands before its God. In our prayers and our hope, we are one with all Jews on earth. We look into each other's faces and we know who we are. We look up to our God and that we know eternity is in us. We look into each other's faces and we know who we are. We look up to God and we know eternity is with us. We turn to page 398 for the tefillah. For those who would like, you may rise at this time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Avel Hagadol Hagibor, Vahanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol. וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. God of the past and the future, God of this day, God of Israel and all the world, we know you, yet cannot name you. Without halting human speech, we say God, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah and Rebekah, God of Rachel and Leah, God of freedom and justice and mercy, God of understanding. You are the rule by which we measure ourselves. You are the voice we hear within us. Together, you are the majestic one who delights in life. Inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Zakreinu l'chaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chatneinu b'sefer ha'chaim, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. Amen. And I invite you, as I read the Hebrew, for you to read the English, please, in the middle of page 399. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, וחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. We pray that we might know before whom we stand, the power whose gift is life, who quickens those who have forgotten how to live. Mashiach Ruach Umarid HaGashem. We pray for winds to disperse the choking air of sadness, for cleansing rains to make parched hopes flower, and to give all of us the strength to rise up towards the sun. Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim. We pray for love to encompass us for no other reason save that we are human, that we may all blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives. So let no flip veroche holy umatira suri umekaye emunato lishene afar. We pray to stand upright. We fallen to be healed. We sufferers, we pray to break the bonds that keep us from the world of beauty. We pray for opened eyes, we who are blind to the authentic selves. Mikamoka val yevurot umidomela melek meimit umechaya umatzliach Yeshua. We pray that we may walk in the garden of a purposeful life, our own powers in touch with the power of the world. Venhevanata lahachayot leitim baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hametim. Amen. Praise be the God whose gift is life, whose cleansing rains let parched men and women flower towards the sun. We continue now on page 403. Page 403, as we read responsively. These cry out to us. Let now an infinite presence teach us a gentleness that transcends force and melts our hardness of heart. Then shall we be sensitive to the needs of our neighbors and responsive to their pleas. All who struggle vainly for attention, all those faces we forget from one encounter to the next, and those we never seem to find a resting place in the family of the secure, all whose ambition exceeds their skill, and those whose early promise have dimmed to small achievement, all whose minds are clouded or weak, and those who are burdened with broken bodies, all who wait in pain only for death, and those who wait for news that never comes, those who are unloved with none to love, all widows and widowers, abandoned husbands and wives, neglected children, all who are deprived by the callousness of others, and all who have been driven from their homes by wars they never made. To all these, O God, may we respond with an open heart. And now we continue with the Al-Khates on page 404 as we read responsively. Al-Khait shechatanu lefanecha, we have sinned against life by failing to work for peace. Al-Khait shechatanu life by ignoring those who suffer in distant lands. Al-Khait shechatanu lefanecha, we have failed to respect those made in the image of God. Al Hechechatana lefanecha, we have engaged in gossip and in repeated slander. Al Hechechatana lefanecha, we have conformed to fashion and not to conscience. Al Hechechatana lefanecha, we have given meager support to our houses of study. Al Hechechatana lefanecha, we have sinned against ourselves and paid scant heed to the life of the Spirit. We have sinned against ourselves and have not risen to fulfill the best that is in us. Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot Selanu mechalanu Kavelanu. Together for all these sins, O God of mercy, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. God, before whom words must be true, we acknowledge our faults and our failings. Help us now to strengthen the good impulse within us. Help us to care about wrongs from which we have been spared, to seek forgiveness for the wrongs we shall do, to forgive the wrongs that are done to us. Create in us a clean heart and a willing spirit within us. Shed your light upon us, O God, that we may see goodness in each of your children. Eloheinu ve'Elokei Avotenu, Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten chelkeinu b'toratecha, Sabeinu mituvecha, v'samkeinu b'shuatecha, v'taher libeinu v'taher libeinu v'taher libeinu li'avdecha ve'emet. Let us continue reading in Hebrew. Ki ata salkan liYisrael, umachalen v'shatei yeshurun bechol dor vador. Umi balodecha ein lanu melech mochel v'soleach ela ata. Baruch ata Adonai melech mochel v'soleach la'avonotenu v'la'avonot amo beit Yisrael uma'avir ashmotenu bechol shana v'shana. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael. Melech al kol haaretz, Mekadesh Yisrael Ve'om HaKipporim. Amen. Let me hear you, God, when I hear my spirit soaring in prayer. May I sing because I love, not afraid to waste my sweetness upon the void, but reflecting in my soul's flight the universal God who sings through me. Let us read together at the top of page 407. O God of Israel's past, God of this day, God of all flesh, creator of all life, we praise you, the Most High. For the gift of life, we give thanks, O source of good, that life endures. Eternal and infinite God, help us to use our life for blessing, to live by your law, to do your will, to walk in your way with a whole heart. We praise you, eternal God, for the blessing of life. Together at the bottom of the page, O source of peace, lead us to peace, a peace profound and true. Lead us to a healing, to mastery of all that drives us to war within ourselves and with others. May our deeds inscribe us in the book of life and blessing, righteousness and peace. O source of peace. On page 408, our God and God of all generations, grant that none may hate us, and let hatred for others never enter our hearts. Unite us in the reverence of your name. Keep us far from the things you hate, and draw us near to the things you love. O treat us with compassion for your name's sake. O say shalom b'miramoth. Uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yase shalom, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. And now at the top of page 409, the ark is opened, and I invite June to please open the ark. And here we have the Aleinu prayer that is that is actually recited 3 times a day for the morning service, the afternoon service, and the evening service. But originally, this prayer was only recited on the Holy of Holies. And this is where we prostrate ourselves, we go flat onto the floor, and we show that we will never bow down to anyone except for God. It is an exhilarating experience if you want to try it, or even imagine trying it, and feel that you are bowing down before your Creator and your Maker. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצא ארץ, ומושל יקרו בשמיים וממעל, ושכינה תוזור בגרדים מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אינו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. And will you close the ark, please? And Michael, stay up here for a moment. Stay up here. And now we're at a portion in our service on page 410 where it talks about from creation to redemption, basically the history of the Jewish people, all of the highs and all of the lows throughout our lives. But no matter what, the Germans are gone, the Turks are gone, the Greeks are gone. It is the Jewish people that have remained alive forever because God is with us, because we follow in God's ways, and because we heed God's commandments. Page 410, please read along with me. Author of life, in the beginning, you formed the universe and established the earth. Beholding chaos, seeing the darkness that lays upon the face of the deep, you brought forth brightness to dispel the gloom. Creation danced as clay took on your image. How can dust become the one whose thought is more than dust? Driven by restless yearnings, we ate of the tree of knowledge. Ever since we dream of your garden, a vision we fled, a vision we fly to. Even now, your pity upholds us, growing in numbers, increasing our skills. We feel blessed by your goodness. How then can we break our bond and say to you, depart from us? In an instant we will wither without your care. Judgment follows out every deed, but you are mindful of your covenant, a sign of your blessing. The rainbow adores the heavens. Knowledge grows, still we stray, and in pride assault those heavens. Lunar cold invades us. Many fail and fail. Nothing abides. Oh, but some who shine as stars bear witness to your love. Ahilala ella kalefanav, eshala mimenu manei lashon, asher bikal amashira uzo, abi arenanot. Be'adam mila alav, lavo marchelei, ume Adonai me'an alashon, Adonai sevatai tita, uvi agidi latecha, ilu leratzon imrefi, ve'egion livi levanecha, Adonai tzuri, we continue on page 418. Page 418. This is not in your prayer book, but on Yom Kippur, Jewish tradition teaches that the Yetzer Hara, the desire to follow your desires, is dead. If we follow our desires, it is only out of habit. On Yom Kippur, we can break our habits. Here are 3 questions to think about on Yom Kippur to help you develop your life plan. Am I eating to live or living to eat? If I am eating to live, then what am I living for? What would I like written in my obituary or my tombstone? Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, is the anniversary of the day Moshe brought down from Mount Sinai the second set of the 10 Commandments, which we will read shortly in our prayer book. This signified that the Almighty forgave the Jewish people for the transgression of the golden calf. For all times, this day was decreed to be a day of forgiveness for our mistakes. However, this refers to transgressions against the Almighty. Transgressions against our fellow human being require us to correct our mistakes and seek forgiveness. If one took from another person, it is not enough to regret and ask the Almighty for forgiveness. First, one must return what was taken and ask for forgiveness from the person, and then ask for forgiveness from the Almighty. And here we have the 10 Commandments that were given to Moses on this day. You may choose to read the Hebrew and or the English. Anohi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo yihye lecha Elohim acherim al panav. You shall have no other gods beside me. Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashav. You shall not invoke the name of your eternal God with malice. Zohor et yom hashabbat lekadsho. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Kaved et avicha v'et imecha. Honor your father and your mother. Lo tirtzach. Do not murder. Lo tin'af. You shall not commit adultery. Lo tiknov. You shall not steal. Lo ta'aneh v'reyacha eid shaker. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Lo tachmod. You shall not covet. We continue to read together. Thus pledged a play, a redemptive role in the world's unfolding destiny. Israel journeyed on from Sinai and reached the promised land, the land they loved, and which seemed to love them in return. On one of its mountains, they built a city, Jerusalem, and on top of the mountain a temple, symbol of the splendor of Israel's God. The olive trees that stand in silence upon the hills of time, to hear the voices of the city as bells of evening chime. The shofar sounding from the temple to call the world to prayer. A shepherd pauses in the valley and peace is everywhere. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nefoshet v'shel hor alolachol shirayich ani kinor. Yerushalayim shel zahav, O city with a heart of gold.